Okay, Ryan is here and we're on the way to the vet. So he's turning 5 this month and he's got a little bit of plaque on his teeth. The vet told me it's a bit too early for his age, but that's what it is. Now he's very calm, so I hope the procedure goes smoothly. We're getting his teeth cleaned today, and I hope he's gonna be all right.
Ryan has no idea yet, but in just a couple months, we're flying to the Azores for another summer adventure. Before we could even think about booking our flights or packing our bags, there was one important thing we needed to take care of first. Ryan is ready for his sedation, and I hope everything goes well.
Sí.
O sea, porque si se lo pones de manera muy suave y delicada, el gato te va a hacer daño. Y
Sí.
sobre todo nos va a hacer daño a nosotros.
Sí. Tranquilo,
Cuidado que va la
Ren.
jeringa, ¿eh?
Tranquilo, Ren. Tranquilo. Sí, ya está, hijito. Ya está. Oye.
Sí. Vale, ahora
Ryan.
suéltalo, tranquilo.
Ya está.
Suéltalo porque él ahora se va...
Ya está.
Vale, si quieres lo bajamos, vamos al suelo para que no se haga daño el gato.
Watching your pet go under anesthesia is never easy. Even when it's a routine procedure, there is always that little voice in the back of your mind hoping everything goes smoothly. Ryan drifted off surprisingly calmly, although he needed a little extra medication before he was fully asleep. One thing I found really interesting was that many cats don't actually close their eyes under anesthesia. That's why the vet applied artificial tears to keep them from drying out during the procedure. Once everything was ready, Ryan was connected to the monitoring equipment and taken in for his dental cleaning.
Sí. Wow.
Sí.
Wow.
Lo que pasa es que la parte roja debería funcionar, la parte respiratoria. Lo que pasa es que el pulso oxímetro funciona a veces mejor en la lengua, pero como es la zona que vamos a trabajar, cuesta mucho que entre esa parte. Pero bueno, como está respirando y eso, pues estamos tranquilos, ¿vale? Ve, aquí está todo esto funcionando. Vale, entonces, espere, vamos.
One reassuring sign was watching his little belly move up and down. As long as he was breathing steadily, I knew everything was going exactly as it should. Now, all I could do was wait. The procedure went exactly as planned, and thankfully, Ryan's teeth were in much better shape than I had feared. The vet did point out that despite being only 5 years old, he already has a tendency to build up plaque quite quickly. So from now on, I'll have to pay a little more attention to his dental care to hopefully avoid bigger problems in the future. But for now, the most important thing was simply getting him safely back home.
Ryan. Uy. My sweet baby. I love you so much, Ryan. Mi hijito. ¿Qué, Ryan? ¿Quieres comer? Uy, qué rápido. Viene rápido para la comida. Ahora vamos a comer, ¿vale, Ryan? Ahora, hijo.
Because of the anesthetic, Ryan hadn't eaten for almost 12 hours. Naturally, he was very hungry, but after a procedure like this, it's important not to let your cat eat too much too quickly. I started with a very small portion of food, but even though he clearly wanted to eat, he was still so sleepy that he could barely manage more than a few licks. So I switched to a soft mousse, hoping it would be a little easier for him until he felt more like himself again. About an hour later, Ryan finally started looking a little more like his usual self. His balance was improving, and little by little, he began showing more interest in his food. Thankfully, Ryan recovers quickly, and before long, he's back to his usual energetic self. With his teeth finally taken care of, we can put this little adventure behind us. There is just one more thing Ryan needs before we can travel together again. Within the European Union, cats need a valid rabies vaccination before they can fly. So today, we're back at the vet's for one final check before our summer adventure can officially begin. Thankfully, this visit is much easier than the last one. No anesthetic this time, just a quick checkup, the rabies vaccine, and making sure everything is in order.
Ay, un mosquito. Ay, ay, ay. Eso es el helio. Sí, 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 el helio que es malo. Ay. Sí, señor. Bueno. No se enfade cuando
As always, Ryan isn't exactly thrilled about getting a shot, but he handles it like a little champion.
Well, Ryan and I are done. Ryan behaved so well. He's such a good cat.
Before heading home, we spend a few quiet moments in the little park next to the clinic. After today's visit, I think we've both earned a chance to relax. With Ryan's vaccination done and all the paperwork sorted, we're finally ready for the trip. Now, all that's left is counting down the days until we fly to the Azores. Yeah, he's super hungry. Can you hear him? There you go, Ryan. It's just after midnight, the night before our flight. Ryan is about to have his last proper meal before we leave tomorrow.
If you're going for a long journey with your cat or with your dog, it's recommended you take away their food 6 hours in advance before you start your trip, and take away their water a couple hours before you set off. So I'm taking away my cat's water because for the next 8 to 9 hours we're gonna be on the way, and unfortunately he won't have access to his toilet. I hope today everything goes well.
One thing I always keep inside my cat's carrier is an absorbent pad, just in case of an accident. Fortunately, after so many trips together, I've only had to use it once, on his very first flight. I think it wasn't because he couldn't hold it, but simply because everything around him was so unfamiliar.
So today, Ryan doesn't want to collaborate and he's hiding. Ryan, are you ready to travel? Ryan, let's go. You don't want to travel. I think he's scared. Poor baby. But anyways, we gotta go because our taxi is coming in 5 minutes. Ryan, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ray, you won't believe what just happened. Went down with my suitcases and I almost got into the taxi, and then I remembered that I left Ryan at home and he was there waiting. So I'm about to check in, but because I'm traveling with my cat, I can't do it online, so I have to go through the check-in desk. To be honest, I kind of feel nervous, and Ryan also felt quite worried this morning.
Before heading to security, I also have to pay Ryan's travel fee. If you're flying with a pet, it's definitely worth arranging this in advance. It'll save you both time and stress at the airport.
All right, we just had an incident. Ryan got really scared when we were going through the security check, and he got out of my hands and he ran away, and I had to run and get him back. It was so scary.
Even after all these years of traveling together, airports are still the part Ryan likes the least.
After Ryan's escape at the security check, my t-shirt is slightly destroyed, but now I feel more relaxed. I am right almost at the gate now, and Ryan feels calmer. The good thing about flying with your cat is that you always get a window seat, and I love to get a window seat when flying. See how beautiful he is. He's wearing his bow tie.
People often ask me what Ryan does during the flight. The answer is not very much. He might peek out of the window, but he usually curls up inside his carrier or on my lap and sleeps for most of the journey. After all the excitement at the airport, the rest of the journey is thankfully uneventful. Ryan does exactly what he always does on flights: sleep. And just like that, we are back.
All right, just arrived in Ponta Delgada. Ryan behaved like a champ, as always. Gotta get my luggage now, and we'll start our amazing summer.
One thing I always love about arriving in São Miguel is how relaxed everything feels. There are no jet bridges here, so you simply step off the plane and walk across the terminal. After busy airports like Barcelona, it's a lovely way to arrive. And the first thing I notice, the temperature. Even in summer, the air here feels noticeably cooler and fresher than in Barcelona. Even before leaving the airport, São Miguel starts reminding me why I love coming back. Everywhere you look, there is lush greenery. It almost feels like nature begins the moment you step off the plane. From the moment we leave home until we finally reach our accommodation, the whole journey takes around 8 hours. It's a long day for both of us, but Ryan handles it incredibly well. The moment these winding roads appear outside the window, I know I'm back. It's a feeling that's hard to describe, but every visit somehow feels like coming home. After a long day of traveling, we finally made it. Ryan does exactly what he always does in a new place, or in this case, a place he hasn't seen for a while. He disappears under the bed for a few minutes to make sure everything is safe. Give him a little time though, and he'll be acting as if he never left. After a long day of traveling, Ryan finally gets to do what he's been waiting for: explore. Even though he's been here many times before, I always keep him on a leash for the first couple of days. It gives him time to get familiar with his surroundings again, and more importantly, makes sure he doesn't wander off before he remembers exactly where he is. This place is also home to a few familiar faces. There is Smokey, who used to spend a lot of time with Ryan during our previous visits, and two other cats, Fefe and Manchita. I'm honestly not sure whether cats remember each other after such a long time, but I'm about to find out. At first, they seem a little cautious, but that's perfectly normal. Looking at Ryan now, it's hard to believe that just yesterday he was hiding under the bed. Getting here always takes a bit of planning, a lot of patience, and occasionally a few stressful moments. But seeing him happily exploring again reminds me why we keep coming back. For both of us, the Azores have become a home away from home, and our summer adventure is only just beginning.